Hi, and welcome to the Boat Princess podcast. My name is Nicky Vaux, and I'm your host. I am a boat owner, a marina owner, a director on the Marina Industries Association, and a huge advocate for boating. In this series, I'm sharing the stories from every nook of the boating industry with the intention of encouraging more women to join me and for more women to get behind the helm too. I want to share the experience and opportunities of boating, of the boating industry, and I want you to join me as I bring the conversations and answer all the questions you've had. Boating is not just for the glamorous and rich and famous. It's full of beautiful and interesting people making the most of our natural environment and getting out there, enjoying the waterways. So let's let off the lines, take over the helm, and escape to the world of boating. Welcome to another episode of the Boat Princess podcast. This one's going to be entertaining because this girl has got so much energy and drive. It's just amazing to listen to, let alone see. And you would have seen her in a video with me at Sanctuary Cove Boat Show. Her name is Ruth Douglas from Heirlooms Linen. She's managing director here. Welcome, Ruth.
Thank you so much, Nicky, for such an amazing introduction. Really appreciate it. And to be honest, if it wasn't for you, you persuaded me to go to the Sanctuary Cove, and it was so fantastic to be there. And what a pleasure it has been to have you here today.
Oh, look, it's lovely here. We are in Bognor Regis, folks. I am in the UK again. Yes, I know I get to the UK a lot. Well, I was born here, so every now and then I get back here, which is such a delight. And we've just done a tour of your amazing facility here in Bognor Regis. So has it always been here?
Yeah, Heirlooms has been here certainly for the last 30 years. I joined the company 13 years ago, and I have to say there has been quite a significant transformation of what we do as a company and the expansion of the premises that we've got here. So, but yes, we're down by the seaside, not very far from Goodwood, where all the racing, cars and horse racing happen. And we're neighbours to Rolls-Royce. So we're the Rolls-Royce of the linen industry. And no better place to be for bespoke product.
I love that. That's quite a good little segue there, isn't it, darling?
I know. And it's actually, I think when you look at sort of, manufacturing and the passion that, we have as a company for manufacturing. And I've been fortunate enough to have a number of tours of Goodwood, Rolls-Royce. It is so amazing to kind of be able to see the synergies between companies in manufacturing. So we are like a family, and certainly we are at Heirlooms.
Love it. So, and that's it's something quite lovely and quite unique. I've just walked around your facility and seen your factory and the girls and guys working here. And it's so lovely to see British people working in this company, and the craftsmanship is being sent through the generations, and that manufacturing is still existing in Britain. That must make you feel proud.
Yeah, we're super proud of what we do. I think it's always a bit of an emotional journey in terms of being a manufacturer, because it's not just the day-to-day in making a product. We really look after our staff. We have got such a diverse workforce. We've got British, we've got European, we've got further afield. We have some really talented Ukrainians working for us at the moment, which is lovely. We are very much a family-run company. We have a flat structure. So whilst the buck stops with me being the MD, everyone's position within the company is so important. We've got great personal relationships with everyone. And I think people feel that from our product. There's such a care and attention that goes into absolutely everything that we do, that certainly when people get our product, I think they feel so connected to it just because of the love and care that has gone into it from us as a team. So yeah.
Well, I think the feel of a company is always led by the leader, right? And you and I met in Dubai at the boat show recently, just in March. And I feel like I've known you forever since I met you in March.
Yeah.
And I think that shows right through your business and your relationships with your staff and so on and so forth. How do you, as a leader, how do you project that? How do you've got an amazing feel here that everybody really is truly part of a family. That's a strong thing for you to be able to do.
Do you know, I think, and thank you for saying that. It's I wouldn't do something if I didn't enjoy it. Honesty and integrity have always been a huge part of my growing up. I'm from Northern Ireland, so I think there's enough said on that. In terms of, and I think that childhood that I had was one that has enabled me to um, be sensitive to other people and to be sensitive to environments, but also to have that level of respect. And as I say, honesty, integrity, and service. I mean, I've worked since I was the age to be able to work. Um, and therefore, I have done just about every job going, when I was a student. And therefore, I have a huge amount of respect for people's skills and every level of how someone works. We work the same with our clients. So whether it's an interior designer, we're part of their team. Our job is to make them look good. Our job is also to advise them, not just to ask them to tell us, but for us to give their expertise. And I think they really value us working with them as part of the team. It's the same for the yachts. So our job is to make it easy for the crew. Their job is to look after the guests. Our job for all the linens and everything that we supply to the yachts is to make sure we get it right. We get it right first time, that when the guests get on board and get into bed, that is the thing that they're going to feel and think, oh my goodness, this is just amazing. And for us, it's just an absolute joy to be able to do that.
Yeah, just basically making people feel good when they go to bed.
Making
Happy
people
days.
feel good about everything that they do. People want to work with people that are passionate. And also, if you bring a client or a project to someone or a yacht, you want to know that that you're going to be looked after and that their client is going to be looked after, that they're going to get the best level of fabrics, whatever the investment is, because it's the same team making it, whether it's for the crew or whether it's for the owner or whatever. We treat absolutely everything the same. And we've got that level of respect for them and what they do too. So people want to work with fun people.
Absolutely. And there we talk. I should kind of talk about the fact why we're talking to Heirlooms Linens, because I normally talk to people from the boating industry. Of course, Ruth isn't directly from the boating industry, but without her linens in some of the best super yachts in the world and yachts in the world, they are an intrinsic part of our industry. And I think this is another piece of that story I want to give of super yachts do actually support an incredible number of people in the world. And Heirlooms Linens and the people that work for them is a perfect example of that. So that big bad image we have of being white boats and all that sort of stuff, I think people really need to rethink about that and think about all the people that those boats support.
I totally agree with that. Unfortunately, there have been, without naming some, there are certain clients that have given the industry a really bad name. I will tell you, we won't work with them because the whole level of honesty and integrity is very strong within our company. Some things may not be illegal, but they are not right from a moral point of view. So looking after people is really important to us as a company. When you look at, the similarities between the motor industry and the yacht industry are well documented in terms of looking at innovation. And actually, if we didn't have the innovation and what we do within yachts, in looking at biofuel, in looking at how, I know it seems a bit weird, sustainability in yachts, but they are pushing the boundaries, our naval architects and designers, to look at how do we do this sort of thing for the future, there would not be the crafts people around, and so many, not just British, but international crafts people that are constantly pushing the boundaries of how to, whether it's, furniture, whether it's textiles, engineering. It does support a huge amount of people. A lot of our clients are self-made, and why should they not use that time? They're employing people. That is the circular economy that we work within, the multiplier effect, the basics of economics. So of course you've got then the sailing yachts as well. So when you look at those boats, I think, well done them.
Yeah.
Well done them.
Yeah, absolutely. So you mentioned you're born in Northern Ireland. Let's step back into a little bit of you for a moment. So you went to school in Northern Ireland?
Yes, I did. I went to Victoria College, Belfast, all-girls school. I'm still great friends with over half a dozen girls that I see on a regular basis. So that long-term loyalty actually has started at school. We were always taught to be independent and strong women. My dad always laughed and thought, oh my goodness, why did I send her to Victoria? And then my dad worked in the security forces in Northern Ireland. So I decided to go to Newcastle upon Tyne, and I did a business and marketing degree.
Ooh.
And but interesting, my father sent me a pamphlet wanting me to come back to Northern Ireland. But within that booklet was an overseas export marketing program. And so I ended up in Singapore and Bangkok. So we're going back to 1994, 1995. Interesting, my parents had traveled to Bangkok in 1987. We thought it was, way clearly the other side of the world, but who would have thought that I would have ended up working there? I actually worked for a well-known medical they're very well known now, and that's kind of really how I started my career in international business. So yeah, I have a real affinity to the Asian market, and just business in general really excites me.
Wow. Okay. So you're working there for pharmaceuticals. Then what next?
After pharmaceuticals, I was based in Singapore, and I helped UK companies develop their export markets to Asia and the Middle East.
Okay.
So back in 1996, 97, I was a regular visitor to Dubai. My goodness, hasn't Dubai changed?
Hasn't it? What?
In all that time? And I'd also had the opportunity of going to Doha in Qatar then. And I still remember the Qatari National Bank photo that is often used, because I had to pop into that bank as I walked down the street. I then came back to the UK, and I worked in the greeting card and gift industry, but I ran international. On that side, we developed a very well-known gift concept that actually became really quite, the brand was Me to You. And so I ran the international. And again, that collaboration approach that I have always had was how I worked with our international distributors. And I'm still really good friends with a lot of them now, because that is work. You have to enjoy what you do. And it is not just about you as a company. It's how do you make the people that you work with, how do you help promote their business and help them develop their careers? And there's a huge amount of satisfaction in that.
Well, there certainly is. I mean, that's our whole, I guess, ethos at the Boat Princess. The rising tide lifts all boats. So that's exactly why I interview people like yourself to promote your business to other businesses that I'm connected to and all of that. So it's very exciting that you've done that through your whole career. And it is, as you say, incredibly satisfying. It makes you feel good that you're helping others rise at the same time that you're rising, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it does, definitely. What can I say? I have an amazing team here that we work with. We absolutely love what we do. And, you know that from having met us in Dubai, that, we work hard, we have fun at what we do. I think also because we have got that deep-rooted honesty and integrity, what you see is what you get with us. And therefore, there are no smoke and mirrors. You can rely on us. And that enables us to have fun as well, because we are the people that we are. So,
very cool. And as you say, what you see is what you get. Let's talk about that a little bit. Yeah, I've seen some amazing linens as we've walked around your facilities today, but you do literally everything from pure linen up to an array of incredible fabrics, and the feel of your fabrics are insanely good. But you can literally make anything for anyone, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We have probably the widest selection of fabrics, and it's interesting when we chat to clients. It's one of the reasons we actually don't retail, because it's such a personal journey for customers to actually understand what fabric suits them, and we can quite often, in talking to people, actually work out what is going to suit. We have got fabrics to suit all levels of investment. And then we can take any element of a design, whether it's the carpets, whether it's the curtains, whether it's the headboard, anything, and we can design and create bed linen, and it can be as ornate or as simplistic as you want it to be. But when you walk into that room, the bed linen absolutely fits within the environment it's supposed to be. And that just adds that level of specialness to our product.
It's really personalizing to the actual yacht or the bedroom, isn't it?
Yeah. And to the personal taste. Someone might want lace. We've got lots of lace options. Someone else might want, they want, different colors, different colored embroidery, personalized names, anniversary, absolutely anything. And we've got 5 embroidery machines, and we have just invested in another machine coming, which is a super machine, which is going to double our capacity when it comes to pillowcases. They take a long time to embroider.
So for a person like me, I'm actually usually a little bit ahead of the game. I'm an architect's daughter.
Oh.
So I have a sort of design side to me that I've never used professionally, but I do definitely have an eye for it. And so I'm usually about 6 months ahead of the game. And so when I go to retail, they say, oh, there's no demand for that, right? And then 6 months later it comes out and I go, see, there's demand for that. So you're the company that says, oh, yeah, we can do that for you, as opposed to there's no demand for that.
Oh, in our world, everything is possible. So if someone phones up and says, I'd like to have X, Y, Z, even if it's something that we've not done before, or it's a different fabric, we go, and then we ask them, what's it for? What's the functionality? And there's a whole raft of questions that we will ask. And then we go, leave it with us and we'll come back to you. And then we go and investigate. And then we go, okay, here's some options. This is what we think is going to work from a functionality point of view, and basically delivering what it is that the client wants to have. I mean, 100% organic, pure linen. We have a new range coming out, and that is absolutely beautiful. So if someone's looking down the linen route, 100% that's what I would tell them to go for. We have some clients that come and say, I'd like to have 1,400 thread count, and we think, exceptional investment for that. Do they really need it?
Yeah.
I mean, they can have it. Of course they can. But then we go, do you want to have 1,000 thread count? Why don't you try that? So we're very much, our job is to advise and give our best advice. We're here for the long term. So when a yacht comes and says, how many sets do you think I need? Yeah, okay, standard 3 sets. 1 in the bed, 1 in the wash, and 1 in the cupboard. But if it's a person, and if it's charter, then of course you've got all that. But if it's a personal boat, are they going to use it a lot? Are they going to use the master cabin more than the others? Do they have children, and therefore do they want a different thread count in the twins? So it's very much, and we are ahead of the game when it comes to design. every year at our trade shows, Monaco and Decorex, which is the interior show, we design for ourselves. So it's our one opportunity to show what we can do. And we're quite often ahead of the curve. So we did the whole floral palm tree beach quite a number of years ago. Botanicals, that was the word. And we actually based it on the botanical gardens of Monaco when we did the design. But sure enough, about a year and a half later, botanicals all became fashionable. So we're pretty good at kind of looking at what future trends are going to be and also being ahead of that curve, which is really fun for us as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that word functionality that you used, because obviously, because you are in the super yacht space, you understand the functionality that's required for the linen in super yachts. Give me some things there that you really focus on to make sure that the linen is appropriate for each yacht. Like you said, the difference between charter and private, for example.
Yeah, so if a boat is heavily chartered, there's a very specific fabric that we would recommend that they use. It gets softer and softer as it's washed. It's a double twisted yarn, and is really popular amongst our yacht clients. So that is definitely one that we would suggest to them. We would maybe do something slightly different in the master and VIP cabin. So if someone's chartering a boat, that the person who's the head charter just has that extra little bit of special linen. We label everything. If I owned a boat and was chartering, I would probably definitely want to have charter linens and then my own linens. And that's really easy for us to do. We then look at sort of, when it comes to, towels, the density of the towels, how quickly they're going to wash, how many you can fit in the washing machine at any one time.
Love
so
it.
then we'll say, oh, okay, maybe actually go for this size and don't go for that size because actually you'll get more in the washing machine. So all those sorts of things. And then when it comes to napkins and tablecloths and, depending, we'd maybe suggest some other colours for the table cloths, placemats and napkins. So, okay, are you going to use formal dining, informal dining? So there's quite but it's natural for us. It doesn't feel like a large task for the yacht when they come to us, because someone can literally phone up now and say, I have a charter yacht and I need everything for the boat. Send us a list. And we put that list together, and then we put together different options. So accessories like luggage protectors, so that when people come on board, they're not putting luggage directly onto the bed. They're very popular. So there are lots of things that we know just because of our vast experience that they will need. Other things we go, you probably don't need that actually. So yeah, and then they receive the quote, and then we talk about, yeah. So our job is to advise.
Yeah, and it's a bit of a point with super yachts actually when they talk about table settings, isn't it? Because I know the super yacht experiences I've had literally change the table settings, breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. That's fairly full on. So, yeah, as you say, taking that dauntingness away from the client by being able to give them the whole suite of linens, just knowing what they're going to need would be so incredibly helpful to them. I love that.
Yeah, and also when a client sits down, for dinner or lunch, the first thing they're going to feel is the tablecloth and the napkins. You know that when you go into a restaurant, you just look and think, oh, I'm not quite sure about that. And that sets the tone, I think. We can match the table linen to the tableware, so we can take an element of the tableware being used for any breakfast, lunch, dinner, and customize that so that and different themes, so they can have different themes, and we can do little embroidery. So whether it's Asian fusion, sushi, all sorts of things, we can add to the theatre of how they design the table settings. So, and actually, as well as marine and residential, we're doing a lot in the aviation industry. And I think that is hugely important, that care and attention is put into that sector too, Because if I'm getting on an aircraft and I find that on a private aircraft and the table linen and the bed linen is not what you would expect, what does that say about the overall attention to detail and maintenance that there is? So again, our job is to support the client, whether it's a direct or production book company, deliver a lifestyle to the client and give them confidence in the product that they're using.
I love that. So Heirlooms Linens, where did the name come from, or what is it about?
The name Heirlooms could be seen as a very traditional name, but also we're looking at sort of long-term durability and sustainability. So heirlooms came from the fact that your bed linen is something that you should be able to have for a long time and have that durability and lasting, particularly when you're looking at pure linen. A lot of pure linen, bed linen, has actually been handed down over the generations because of the strength of flax. But it's the same with all the fabrics that we have got in terms of strength and durability. So heirlooms, we're very much making it a much more modern name as opposed to just a traditional longevity name.
Love that. And I know when you mentioned the linen there, the royal family have the linen, correct?
That's right. So we can't talk too much about the various different products, but we're very fortunate to have been able to provide our product and service to the royal family since 1995, actually. We have been supplying the palaces and residents. We have had our late Queen's royal warrant from 2005. And then our former Prince of Wales, now King Charles III, we're very fortunate to have had his royal warrant since 2012. You only get the royal warrants for 5 years and then you have to renew them. But sustainability and durability is very much part of the requirements for a royal warrant holding company, as well as integrity, loyalty, and service, which is what heirlooms are.
Love that. So you supply to some amazing super yachts around the world and some incredible people, including the royal family, of course, as we've just spoken about. But I guess without naming names, what's the most unusual request that you've had Heirlooms Linens? Is there something that you've thought, that's a little bit different, we'll have a go and see how we go with that one?
Interesting. We have done some things for the royal family, just as little sort of decorative items of things that we've never made before. So then we have to do quite a number of prototypes in order to kind of get it right. The first time we ever did an aircraft, we'd never done an aircraft before. And there were a lot of prototypes done to be able to get the covers for the head rests right. Spa linens has been something that obviously a lot of the yachts have got spa. So again, first time we were ever asked to do the covers for the massage tables. Yeah, so we bought ourselves a cover and actually, yeah, fine. It's all those sort of little requests and things. It's then looking at what it is that we've got to do, what shape is it, what's the functionality, therefore what fabric should we use, is that fabric what's the stretch on that fabric, and creating a template and quite often a number of attempts to actually get the item just a perfect fit. So there's been many different design things that we've been asked to do that we've gone, wow, okay, that's a lot of thread changes, and so more than 15. We can do 15 colors for a thread, but sometimes the design of something is more than that. But it's interesting because I love engineering and I love creativity. So, yeah, it might be a challenge, but we normally manage to do it and do it exceptionally well.
So tell me how you work exactly, because you work directly with super yacht captains or super yacht owners, and you also work with designers. And so tell me how how people get heirlooms, as it were.
Yeah, I think one of the things, the fact that we don't sell at retail, not everyone knows who we are. Heirlooms is very much, still developing as a brand. Those who know us, and they know the quality of what we do. So, as you know, the yacht industry is quite convoluted in terms of how you get projects. We will look at projects, new builds, and those that are going into refit. So there is an element where we will have direct contact with the yachts. We also then work with significant design companies. So we work alongside the likes of Winch Design, who are a great company. We work with Design Unlimited, who are great. They know how we work. You will have owners that build a boat and then will specifically specify us as a company just because they like the quality of what they do. They know what it is that they're going to get, and they know our reliability. We have a huge replenishment business. So actually it's quite economical for the boat that our database system, and actually we've always done this, we've kept very detailed records so that you can replace just one item without having to replace the whole set. We will look at projects, particularly where they are innovative projects, or just because whether it's a yacht or a building, and we will think, I really want to do that project. Or it's just, it's that pride, or also thinking, oh my gosh, isn't that amazing? They can't possibly have something else other than heirlooms, because just sometimes the whole design of an innovation that's gone into a yacht, or when a historical building is being refurbished, we think, oh, only the best should go in there. And of course, needless to say, yes, we do. So we do have that passion of wanting to do that sort of thing. But again, it's working with the team. We've also great third parties that we work with as well, because, we can't be everywhere. So we've got really lovely relationships with third parties who then represent us within the market.
So that's what Three Beaches do for you in Australia, right?
Yeah, in Australia, yeah. The girls from the Textile Design Studio in Australia are our agents for Australia, but we're looking further afield. It's very unusual to find a company so similar to us in terms of, certainly from a manufacturing service point of view. They do something very different in terms of their indoor and outdoor fabrics. Great team, very service orientated. So yes, so that's exactly what they're going to do there. And then we have some third parties who we work with in France, within Italy, that are able to bring our brand to the client, but also know that they can rely on us.
And then you work with some boat brands directly as well, don't you?
Yes. So we work with Oyster, we work with Sunseeker, we work with Fairline, we work with Gulfcraft, who have done amazingly well over the years. So we've been working with Gulfcraft for 12 years, and I obviously saw them when I was out in Australia. And we work with Naughter Swan. So so there's a number, and that's something that we're certainly seeing more of, where production boat companies want to be able to add that extra level for their clients. Our job is to help them deliver a lifestyle. So, and we have options, endless options that can suit whatever it is that they want to deliver to their client, from certainly a bed linen point of view.
And once again, that having that level of experience that you do in supplying those boat companies, again, takes something away from the clients in terms of the overwhelm of what might work. You can actually supply that to the boat companies, and then they on supply, and everybody feels better about the whole package because it's all come together so easily. That's
absolutely.
Great.
And it's keep making it easy, keeping it simple.
Yeah.
Because sometimes if it's too complicated, the client, their experience of purchasing a boat has got to be a good one. And they shouldn't necessarily need to ask, okay, I've bought my boat, so am I going to get a set of linens with it? I mean, that should come as standard, really, shouldn't it?
Yes.
Because that's their lifestyle. That's the lifestyle that they are buying.
Yeah.
So they want to have good bed linen. They want to have functional towels, you know, to be out on deck. They want to be able to sit on the deck in the evening and know that they've got, you know, a cotton blanket or a cashmere throw or something in between, to be able to sit and wrap themselves on an evening. You know, our job is to be able to deliver that they don't have to think, oh, how am I going to have this lifestyle? Our job is to say, this is what's available.
Fantastic. So, Ruth, what do you think is the future of heirlooms? Where do you think you're going to go? She's got a very big smile on her face right now, guys, because this girl has real excitement for this brand and for her brand. So you can see it radiating from her, and you can see her cogs whirring as I've asked her this question as to where she thinks it might go. You've certainly expanded recently, haven't you?
We have. Gosh, where do we see ourselves? I think for us as a company, it's getting that recognition. Just because we're not at retail does not mean that we are not exceptional at what we do, because we are, and that's why we're not at retail. We've got a great collaboration actually with Savoir Beds, so that's a great partner for us actually from a retail point of view in that respect. But from where we're going now, we have just done a company video. It was going to be a corporate video, but the gentleman who came to do it from Bonjour Film said actually it's got to be about the essence of heirlooms. So that's coming out in September, which coincides with our 40th anniversary of heirlooms.
That's exciting.
Very exciting. So we're going to be doing something in Monaco for that. We've got some surprises for people as to what we're going to do in terms of promoting our 40th year. Expanding as a company, we're doing a lot of work with the local textile schools and training, because we touched on that subject earlier. So enabling people to see a career within the textile industry, and certainly with heirlooms.
Because that's possible loss of skill sets there, right? You've got to be careful to maintain that.
Yeah, absolutely. And also that people realise that actually they can come to a nice environment. I mean, our team really love working here. It's just a lovely environment. So we certainly will be growing in that respect, our production capacity, but also everyone deserves good bed linen. So we want to ensure that the best projects have got our product, whether that's residential, whether that's yacht or aviation, or indeed just personal.
And just the boat princesses.
Or just the boat princess. Because when you have slept on heirlooms bed linen, honestly, you will not sleep on anything else. And it's such a thrill when people say to me, oh my goodness, I mean, you can say what you like about your own product, but when people say, I cannot believe, we had a comment, someone phoned the other day and said, I put the bed linen on the bed. If only people knew. And I went, I think I might use that as a slogan. But oh yeah, we're not finished yet. We have done a huge amount in developing the company, and there's a lot more for us to do, purely because everyone deserves good bed linen.
Well, there we go. There we have it, folks. The summary of today's podcast is everybody deserves good linen. And I couldn't agree with you more, my darling. It's actually, we spend a lot of our time sleeping, so we deserve some decent linen on our
Absolutely.
beds.
And you will never look back.
Fantastic. So Ruth and I are going to, we're going to go for lunch now, aren't we?
Because we're going to go past the
Rolls Royce.
We're going to go past Rolls Royce. We're going to go past Goodwood House. We're going to see the construction for the Festival of Speed. We're in a great part of the world where everyone comes, whether it's for horse racing, car racing, revival. So I'm going to give you a little tour, Nikki, but huge thanks to you. So, you know, things happen for a reason. Truly believe that. Hence why we met in Dubai.
Definitely.
And can't wait to see where the next few years take us. The Boat Princess, you've been massive supporters of the industry, of companies within in the industry. For us to be included in that is real honour and privilege. Thank you.
Oh, thanks, darling. Oh, you attended our women's event.
Oh, and I did the
at
Women in
Sanctuary
Networking
Cove.
event.
Yeah.
Yes.
How was that for you?
Yeah, it was really good. I met some amazing ladies there. So we got ladies from a lady from New Zealand working on a project, but it was really nice to connect with all the team there and to be able to see them over the course of, you know, the industry, to support each other. That because, you know, whether, you know, you're female, male, whatever, whatnot, it's about collaboration. It's about working together. It's about enjoying what you do. If you don't enjoy what you do, just don't do it. Go and do something else, because passion is everything.
Absolutely. Passion is everything. We love that. Thank you so much, Ruth, for your time. If somebody is wanting heirlooms linens on their yacht or at home, how should they contact you, or how should a designer contact you, or how should a yacht company contact you?
Well, they can phone us or just send an email through the website. We do, our website is not very consumer focused, just because there's endless amounts of what we do. So the best thing is always just to get in touch, because we love to, you know, chat, obviously, and to be able to understand requirements. But yeah, get in touch, send us an email through the website, send us on LinkedIn, and absolutely delighted. It'd be a pleasure to help anyone.
So the website is heirlooms-superyachts.com or heirlooms-linens.com. Your telephone number is
+44 1243 820 252.
And the best email to get you on?
Oh, send it to me, Ruth.
Oh, right, straight to the top, guys. Just go straight to the top.
Ruth, RUTH, at heirlooms-linens.com.
Fantastic. Thanks, Ruth. It's been good talking to you. Can't wait to see the Rolls-Royce garage as we drive past, which is equally synonymous with your brand. We love it. We love it. Heirlooms linens, amazing linens to have on your super yacht or at home. Get in touch, and that's because everybody deserves good linens. Take care, guys. See you on the water soon. So what an amazing interview we had with Ruth from Heirlooms Linens in the UK. She is a wonderful woman full of loads of positive energy. And sometimes I wonder if kind of the tougher life we've had at some points in our lives, the more positive we become, and the more sort of our perspective is different, because we look at life from some really difficult times that we've had, and therefore always look at the good side of life. And Ruth is one of those. So I really enjoyed my conversation with her. And then the linens. Oh my goodness. We have Heirlooms linens on our bed at home. And well, it's like living in a 6-star hotel room every night. It's just fabulous. They are so divine. I mean, so divine. I've never experienced linens like them before, and they're just beautiful. So if you need new linens on your yacht or at home, then get in touch with Heirlooms Linens, because they really are a step above for anything I've ever experienced before. So I hope you enjoyed my podcast with Ruth. I certainly loved spending the day with her and seeing their factory. It was incredible to see the girls and guys, you know, ironing by hand, stitching by hand, you know, so much going on that was real, you know, manufacturing in the UK, and that's brilliant. So I hope you can enjoy the fabulous feel of their linens in your home or yacht in the future. It's lovely talking to you again, and I will see you on the water soon.